जय श्री माता जी। ऑनलाइन उपस्थित विश्व के सभी साधकों का सुबह के ध्यान सत्र में हार्दिक स्वागत है। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी को वंदन करके हम सब ध्यान की स्थिति में बैठते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आज का ध्यान सत्र शुरू करने की कृपया अनुमति प्रदान कीजिए। सामूहिक बंधन। अपना चित्त हृदय में लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे हृदय में विराजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारा हृदय प्रेम, करुणा और वात्सल्य से भर दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में हम केवल शुद्ध आत्मा हैं। तीन महामंत्र, तत्पश्चात श्री गणेश मंत्र।
सरस्वती
जय श्री माता जी। हम सब संतुलन करते हैं। अपना राइट हैंड पृथ्वी तत्व पर, चित्त ईड़ा नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर, परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के ईड़ा नाड़ी पर तमोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व भूमि तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सामूहिकता की ईड़ा नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। राइट हैंड गोद में, लेफ्ट हैंड आकाश की तरफ। अपना चित्त पिंगला नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के पिंगला नाड़ी पर रजोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व आकाश तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सामूहिकता की पिंगला नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। लेफ्ट हैंड गोद में। अपना चित्त मध्य नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर आप हमें संतुलन दीजिए। हमें वर्तमान में रखिए। अपना चित्त मूलाधार चक्र पर लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के मूलाधार चक्र पर श्री गणेश जी की शक्ति जागृत कीजिए, कार्यान्वित कीजिए। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमें अबोध बनाइए। चित्त मूलाधार पर श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। अपना चित्त मूलाधार चक्र पर स्थिर करके गणेश अथर्व शीर्ष का पठन करते हैं।
ओम नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षात् आत्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचा नमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चात्तात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरात्तात् अवदक्षिणात्तात् अवश्च ऊर्ध्वात्तात् अवाधरात्तात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वम् आनन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्द द्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो अनिलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मा स्वं विष्णु स्वं रुद्र स्वं इन्द्र स्वं अग्नि स्वं वायु स्वं सूर्य स्वं चन्द्रमा स्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरोम गणादीं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादीं तदनन्तरं संसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारश्च अन्त्यरूपम् बिन्दुः उत्तररूपम् नादः सन्धानं संहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः निःसृत् गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ते प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमङ्कुशधारिणं रदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणम् अच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृतेः पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
जय श्री माता जी। अपना चित्त मध्य नाड़ी से सहस्रार पर लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे सहस्रार पर विराजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारा आत्म साक्षात्कार दृढ़ कीजिए, कार्यान्वित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें परम चैतन्य से आशीर्वादित कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर आप हमें निर्विचार निर्विकल्प ध्यान में स्थित कीजिए। जय श्री माता जी। इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में अमृतवाणी आत्मसात करते हैं। श्री गणेश पूजा कबेला 1992 पहला भाग।
Last time you had asked me for Guru Pada. And you should know that the essence of Guru is Shri Ganesha, the innocence. You must be knowing the story of a very devoted wife, faithful wife of a sati. Her name was Anasuya, and she was so religious and so dedicated that they say that the wives of all the gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, got very jealous of her. So they told their husbands that you must go and test her if she is really a woman with chastity or not. So all of them came down as sadhus, dressed up like sannyasis. And she said she wanted to serve them, give them something. They said, no, we want to have food. She said, all right, come and sit down. She cooked food for them. So they said, no, we will not have the food unless and until you take out all your clothes. We'll only have the food if you take out all your clothes. She said, is it so? She said, yes. So she made them into little children, 3 little children. And then she became nude. Because innocent doesn't understand anything about it. And then she joined them together. Their 3 innocence was joined together. And they got their Guru Pada. That's how the Adi Guru was created. So the first thing is that if you want your Guru Pada, you have to be innocent. Innocent is a very vague term, very vague. And difficult to really understand what is innocent. But what is the nature of innocence that we can understand from Shri Ganesha's image. First of all, he is endowed with wisdom. And he puts wisdom into us. It's a nice thing now in modern times we have discovered genetics. And genetics determine our behavior and our races. It is he who puts genetics in us. He selects and puts it within us, our genetics. And when he puts wisdom in us, then we are wise. There is definitely a genetic of wisdom, which is lacking, as we can see very clearly in many races. They have no wisdom. They do things without wisdom. They do things just for their destruction, destroying their society. They may call themselves the highest society, highest races, whatever it is, you may brand yourself with anything, but you can see from their behavior that they have no wisdom at all. So he is the one who puts that wisdom in us. In some people who are not yet evolved, certain races are not yet evolved to that extent, this wisdom is lacking. Apart from that, this wisdom gives us the sense of freedom. So we keep aloof from all kinds of intoxicant, all kinds of bad habits. We don't like to look at nudity. It can never become lifestyle of people who have wisdom. Never. We don't indulge into extramarital nonsense. Whatever is absolutely in the center, which is dharmic, we accept. So we can see that the seed of wisdom put into us makes us dharmic people when we grow, automatically. We are automatically dharmic. We don't kill others, we don't aggress others, we don't torture others, we do not occupy anybody else's land or house or take away anything, another's property or another's things. This wisdom comes to you through Shri Ganesha. In short, he makes you absolutely ready for self-realization. It is he only, ultimately, who looks after us at the time of our nirvana, at the time of our realization. Because he stops all other activities of excretion when you are ascending into new realm. You have seen I am sitting here for 9 hours, 10 hours. Once I sat down for 18 hours together, didn't go at all, even to bathroom. Because it is he who stops. All these activities, even when Kundalini is rising, it stops. So this wisdom is innate. Just happens that when the Kundalini is rising, he becomes manifesting in us, I should say, he makes us like a child. And that's what Christ has said, that you have to be like children if you have to enter into the kingdom of God. So you become the child. That time you become a child. And with the Kundalini rising, that wisdom then comes into your brain. Because he's sitting on the Kundalini itself, he's the power in the Kundalini. He gives wisdom in the brain. Once you get that wisdom, you drop out all bad habits, all your attachments which are wrong, all adharmic things that you do, everything drops out. He changes, your genetics are changed. The genetics of Sahajogis are all of them will be the same, about the same I would say. And the genetics of other people would be different. Maybe Indians might have closer to it. Because Indians normally are very wise people. They won't, I would say, if you see the superiority of races from wisdom point of view, Indians are very wise. They won't just do some nonsensical things at all, no question. Even the children I have seen. Children from the West, when they go to India, they went for this school. They are doing all kinds of destructive things to themselves. Nobody could understand. Once they jumped into a dirty pond, they got malaria. Then they ran out of the house, of the school, and came out and went to the roads, went to the shops. So they put a gate. When they put the gate, the newspaper is criticizing us. There's no sense in it. Every school has a gate. So these are all unwise, stupid things they do because they lack wisdom. A child who has wisdom is extremely cautious. He understands the importance of his life. He respects his parents. He respects everything. Automatically, you don't have to tell them. Automatically they know what is dharma is. You don't have to tell them. That wisdom, this great deity of Ganesha, he took his form as Jesus Christ. And you all accepted him as the Lord, which is true also. But because your Ganesh principle was not so much developed in these Western countries, people took to stupid things. This pornography and this kind of interest in nude women shows that there is no wisdom in them, there is no Ganesha in them. Though they follow Christ, it's just a lip service going to the church. I don't know if the church also has any Ganesha in them. They have no Ganesha. The way they lead their life, nobody can say they have any sense of holiness and auspiciousness. As soon as you get wisdom, you understand holiness and auspiciousness. Before that, you just call Holy Father, and Holy Father is doing all kinds of things which can create holes in the organization. Who takes money, bribes, creates bombs, have women, I mean everything. How can he be holy? So this wisdom part is so important, and that's what we should ask Ganesha to make us like children. Children have basically wisdom, but not all the children. This is the thing is that children in which Sri Ganesha has activated, has put this genetic of wisdom, it is there. This is one of the greatest things we have to think about. Is it wise? It is sane. It's not to be logical. Logically, if you believe in something, then you can go wrong because there's no strength from within. But innately, if it becomes that, you won't do it at any cost. Now you know yourself. All the Sahajogis are so different. They behave differently, they stand differently, they talk differently, they think differently, everything is different. Suddenly they have become like that. And you can't understand how is it we have become like this. They were drinking, they were smoking, drug taking, everything they did. But how is it suddenly you changed? Because Sri Ganesha has put this wisdom in you. Now if you see his character, it's very interesting to watch. He's a child and is entirely dedicated to his mother. He doesn't know any other god, anything else. Complete dedication. But is it so with us? There also sometimes I find some Sahajogis are lacking. They lack sincerity, loyalties. And I'm shocked sometimes at the periphery, they are like that. That means they have to ascend still. People who have worked with me, I have always tried to pay them sufficiently. There's no need to pay. Because after all, I have done so much for your building, your body. Why should I pay you? But I always pay sumptuously. I look after them, give them... My loyalties to you and love cannot be challenged. But I find them being very selfish sometimes, extremely selfish. They'll do half the work, run away. Sometimes their problems, their own problems are much more important. Or they just try to find some excuse. So many Sahajogis are also like that. They are not sincere. Sahajayoga has given them so much. We have to always find out, are we sincere to Sahajayoga? What are we doing for Sahajayoga? What have we achieved and what are we doing? On the contrary, they become liabilities on Sahajayoga. Ganesha is never a liability on his mother. For example, someone becomes sick. All right, Sahajayoga can help you. Maybe, may not be, may be cured, may not be cured. If they are not cured, then they will say that, see now, I was not cured, I am going to leave Sahajayoga. Then one has to say, please leave. With the slightest thing they go off, not understanding what is important. Then there are liabilities, like somebody gets married, comes here, I don't like this wife, now do what you like. The wife sits on my head and the husband also. All kinds of liabilities come in. My husband doesn't do Sahajayoga, what should I do? You solve the problem with your husband. You solve the problem with your children. You have the power to do it, have patience, work it out. They'll put us into cases, this, that. It is only Sahajogis who can harm Sahajayoga. Can you believe that? Nobody else can touch it. Unless and until a Sahajogi misbehaves, nobody can touch Sahajayoga. So we have many cases like that. I mean, they have seen my photographs, they have seen miraculous photographs, they have had realization, everything happened to them. They have been so many times helped, but suddenly they say, I want to leave Sahajayoga. Very good. I say, those who have to leave should leave immediately. As it is, there's very little space left in the heaven. And no place for such half-hearted people. They have to leave, they should leave. You have to have Ganesha as your ideal. It should not be that I worship Ganesha. That way you are worshipping Christ, you are worshipping this, worshipping that. But what has come inside you is the point. Have you got Shri Ganesha within you? Are you following Shri Ganesha with the same devotion, dedication? But you are made after the pattern of Shri Ganesha. Shri Ganesha was made with immaculate conception. You are also made the same way. Your Kundalini was raised, was given you the realization, and you got your second birth, and now you are Sahajogis. All these things have happened to you without having a father. If I had not told you that you have a father, you would never have known. Like other gurus, you see, they don't want to give credit to anyone. So this actually has happened with you. You are being made in the same manner as Shri Ganesha. Of course, you must be having something, otherwise I could not have made. That's also true. Supposing the Kundalini was missing, what could I have done? If not missing, if it was absolutely crooked, if not crooked, supposing there were some chakras which were horribly damaged. So, you were also people just ready to have your realization. That you were seeking it truly. That you had the pure desire to become Sahajogis, no doubt. Still, when the growth is taking place, you must watch. You must see how much sincerity we are giving, with what dedication we are working out. Now we have people who must have gone for postering somewhere, some places. Not now, it's long time back. So they charged me for their coffee also. I said, all right. Thank God they were not smoking, otherwise they would have charged me. So from that level, now we are very much changed. And some of them have become perfect Sahajogis. But still we have people on the periphery. And they get nervous at the smallest thing. Yesterday there was a storm. Has to be a storm. You don't know, when Christ was carrying his disciples, there was a very big storm. And then he stopped it. Yesterday when you started singing the songs, then only the storm stopped. Just to prove that these songs have such power. If such things don't happen, how will you know that these songs have the power. You think you are just singing just because you are singing. No, it has a power. These are mantras, these are all awakened songs. And then he stopped. They were saying, should we say mantras? I said, no, nothing. I didn't say anything. What you have to do. Suddenly they thought of singing. And it worked out. Because every time if you have to suggest, then when will you use your power? All such incidents take place. Now it was Shri Ganesha's special trick. He is the real judge for it. You must know because you have seen in Sistine Chapel, he is standing there and moving you left and right. So there is a testing point also. In Sahajayoga the door is open this way. But there's a bigger door on the back side to throw out people. And the judgment is not done by me so much as by Ganesha. He judges you. And then you are thrown out. Then to come back is very difficult. Even if you come back, you are suspicious of yourself and others are also suspicious of you. So, see, what you have to understand is that this is a judgment point. Introspect yourself. Find out. Am I wise? If I am doing this, am I doing wise things? Is it wise for me to do? Is it all right for me as a Sahajogi to do it? Should I do it or not? At every point, you should say. I mean, you know that I don't want any money and I don't want any presents. I've said 100 times, but you won't listen. Now they are saying that, Mother, if you stop giving us present, we'll stop. I said, you stop first, then I'll stop. But despite all this quarrel and fight, there's one thing, definitely there's love, and you want to express it. But love here is not attached, it's detached love. When it flows to its greatest extent, takes all the responsibility. There are people who go on criticizing other Sahajogis. I've seen it's very common. That's a sign of a very low type of a Sahajogi. Because he doesn't see what's wrong with him. He's trying to criticize others. Does he see what is wrong with him? There are other kinds of Sahajogis who do not realize that they are like Ganas. They are like Ganas. And imagine the Ganas, how quick they are. The Ganesha is creating those Ganas, and they are in the sternum bones first, and then they go all over the body. As soon as this centered heart, the mother's place, starts little bit vibrating, they get alerted. So we have to be alert. It's very important that we have to be alert. For about 12 years of your age, these Ganas stay there in the sternum bone, and then they go to the whole body. Because they are matured enough, they are kept there till they are completely mature to fight the enemies. And they know what kind of enemies they are. They know everything. What kind of fighting is needed, what kind of opposition is there. They will just select and they will appoint themselves who should fight whom, who should do this. But they just don't sit all the time in the mother's house. So, we have to go to the people. We have to go into the Virata's body. We have to move out. We have to go all out. Without having any fear, you have to fight them. Not to sit at home crying like a baby now, you are all grown-up people. So this is what is written in the Buddha's future life, that he becomes Matraya, means he has 3 mothers in him, Matraya. But also that he goes all out in the society. He goes out everywhere and he changes people. When you ask for Gurupada, you don't know you are in trouble. Guru doesn't sit at home. He has to go all out, meet all kinds of people, tell them about Sahajayoga, not to be afraid. You have to live with the society. You don't have to have exclusive society where we enjoy bhajans and things. That's over now. I mean, of course, we'll always have bhajans. It doesn't mean. But you have to go beyond. Not only to be involved only in your own problems which are being now solved, so only in Sahajayoga, but Sahajogis, but you have to go all out. Meet other people. Tell them about Sahajayoga. The best is to wear badges. So people ask, who is this? Then you can talk to them. Your friends, your society. You don't have to give up anything. Don't have to give up anything. You are detached. You just go and see for yourself. This is wrong. Like yesterday they showed all kinds of things. Also disco dance they showed it. You should go to the disco and give them the pamphlets. Show them, what are you doing? Are you mad? Or do this kind of a disco more there. So they'll say, what's wrong with them? Then he said, we are copying you. That will put them down. You see, a lady who is, say, smoking and this and that, standing with a pose, go and stand before her with a pose and smoking like this. She'll stop it. So by copying them one way, showing them what they are. Another, writing. You must start writing. It's very important to write and answer. I must tell that there's a very nice article which has come now with me, and the English Sahajayogi should take it from me and answer to the gentleman. It's very important. It's in my room. I'll give them. You must know what's happening all around. What's happening in Bosnia, what's happening in Italy, what's happening here. You should read newspapers. You can see television also. Now when you are matured. Otherwise, if you see television, you'll go mad like other television people are. So what's the use of seeing the television? But if you see the television with a detached mind, you'll immediately get the point where you have to hit. Otherwise, you are sitting in the house, nicely covered up, mother, 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 mother. That's not so. Ganesha gives powers to these Ganas and they fight. That's why it's called as Ganapati. If you want to call me Ganapati, then you have to like Ganas. You have to be like Ganas, who go all out and work it out in so many ways. There's so many tricks which you can play on these people and try to bring them to Sraja. And with you is this all-pervading power. You should not shun them. For example, laws of your countries are so horrible. Some of the laws are so horrible, the peculiar type. You should write. There's no equity, there's no sense in so many laws that you have, which are money-oriented. Say in France, they have very, very funny laws. And they never maintain the law. They don't believe in it. There's no morals, there are no laws. You write to them. You must go and see newspaper people, tell them about it. Try to now assert yourself. Unless and until you do that, nobody is going to get to Sahajayoga. You might get very great people out of that. You can invite some people, you can call them. The modus operandi of these gurus I have seen. They write very nice letters to all these big Johnnies as soon as they go to some house. Then they seek interview, go and see that person, talk to him. They carry, you see, sort of, you can say, a kind of a negotiations, you can call it, or some sort of a panel will go and see them. It's all that level. And then they show them books, see now this is happening, why don't you take to it? We don't want money, this thing, that. You might get lots of people. But you have to invite them, because unless and until you invite them, they'll not come to you. So you have to invite them. And you have to tell them that we want to meet you, this is it. Out of at least 100, if not, at least 20 will reply. They would like to meet you, should say, we found out this, we found out that. So now, today as Ganas, you have to do this special work, is to understand now you are matured enough, you have to go in the society. Now if you get upset, mother, I went there.
जय श्री माता जी। कृपया ध्यान की स्थिति बनाए रखें। जय श्री माता जी। श्री आदि शक्ति मंत्र। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवै नमो नमः। आरती की तैयारी करते हैं।
Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalke Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalke Sakshat Shri Sahasrar Swamini Moksha Pradayini Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Bolo Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai.
परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आज का ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों पर समर्पित करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे अंदर श्री गणेश की शक्ति जागृत कीजिए, हमें अबोध बनाइए, हमें अंदर से विवेकशील बनाइए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे अंदर मंगलता, पवित्रता और नैतिकता भर दीजिए। कृपा कर हमें धार्मिक बनाइए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे अंदर श्री गणेश के सारे गुण स्थापित कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे अंदर गणों की शक्ति जागृत कीजिए और हमें पूर्ण रूप से सुरक्षित कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें मात्रेय की शक्ति से आशीर्वादित कीजिए। कृपा कर हमें सहज कार्य के लिए तैयार कीजिए, कार्यान्वित कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपके श्री चरणों पर हमारा कोटि कोटि नमन, कोटि कोटि नमन, अनंत कोटि नमन। जय श्री माता जी। सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं। जय श्री माता जी। आज के कार्यक्रम, आज शाम का ध्यान ठीक 7 बजे प्रतिष्ठान पुणे यूट्यूब चैनल पर लाइव प्रसारित होगा। आज का ध्यान सत्र यहीं पे संपन्न होता है। अब हम सहज संगीत का आनंद उठाते हैं। आज का दिन सबके लिए आनंदमय, मंगलमय रहे। जय श्री माता जी।
विनाशिते भदैत्यकं नताशुभासुनाशकं नमामि तं विनाशकारणं।
नितान्तकान्तदन्तकान्तिमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तहीनमन्तराय कुन्तनम् हृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिनां हृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिनां तमेकदन्तमेव तं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम् महागणेश पञ्चरत्नमादरेण योऽन्वहं प्रजल्पति प्रभातके विस्मरन् गणेश्वरम् महागणेश पञ्चरत्नमादरेण योऽन्वहं प्रजल्पति प्रभातके विस्मरन् गणेश्वरम् अरोगतामदोषतां सुसाहिती सुपुत्रताम् अरोगतामदोषतां सुसाहिती सुपुत्रतां समाहितायुरष्टभूतिमभ्युपैति सोचिरा मुदा करात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंसकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकं नताशुवासुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकं नमामि तं विनायकं नमामि तं विनायकम् दाता तु गणपति गजानन दाता तु गणपति गजानन दाता तु गणपति गजानन भजति तु सासी कोणी जन दाता तु गणपति गजानन दाता तु गणपति गजानन
गणासुतं भजे गणेशमीशनन्दनम् एकदन्तवक्रतुण्डनागयज्ञसूत्रकम् कोटिसूर्यज्योतिवज्रकोटिनिर्मलम् पाशपाणिचक्रपाणिमूषकाभिरोहिणम् अग्निकोटिसूर्यज्योतिवज्रकोटिनिर्मलम् चित्रमाणभक्तिजालभालचन्द्रशोभितम् कल्पवृक्षभक्तरक्ष्णमोऽस्तु ते गजाननम् सुतं भजे गणेशमीशनन्दनम् एकदन्तवक्रतुण्डनागयज्ञसूत्रकम् रक्तगात्रधूम्रनेत्रशुभ्रवस्त्रमण्डितम् कल्पवृक्षभक्तरक्ष्णमोऽस्तु ते गजाननम् दिव्यवाहिनी कालजाललोकपालवन्दितम् भूतभाव्यहव्यकाव्यभृगुर्भागवर्चितम् दिव्यवाहिनी कालजाललोकपालवन्दितम् पूर्णब्रह्मसूर्यवर्णपुरुषम् पुरातनम् कल्पवृक्षभक्तरक्ष्णमोऽस्तु ते गजाननम् सुतं भजे गणेशमीशनन्दनम् एकदन्तवक्रतुण्डनागयज्ञसूत्रकम् रक्तगात्रधूम्रनेत्रशुभ्रवस्त्रमण्डितम् कल्पवृक्षभक्तरक्ष्णमोऽस्तु ते गजाननम् सूर्य विश्वकर्म निर्मलम् विश्वहर्ता विश्वकर्ता यत्र तत्र पूजितम् विश्ववीर्य विश्वसूर्य विश्वकर्म निर्मलम् विश्वहर्ता विश्वकर्ता यत्र तत्र पूजितम् चतुर्मुखम् चतुर्भुजम् सेवितम् चतुर्युगम् कल्पवृक्षभक्तरक्ष्णमोऽस्तु ते गजाननम् सुतं भजे गणेशमीशनन्दनम् एकदन्तवक्रतुण्डनागयज्ञसूत्रकम् रक्तगात्रधूम्रनेत्रशुभ्रवस्त्रमण्डितम् कल्पवृक्षभक्तर